Today on UI7 Newsbreak,
Union busting is disgusting.
we look into how a teaching assistant will be affected by the upcoming GEO strike on February the 26th.
And then, Democratic candidates for Illinois Attorney General meet a forum to discuss criminal justice reform, the environment, and gun control.
Plus, after a tough season, Illinois men's basketball pulls a win over Nebraska on Sunday at their senior night.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio, this is your UI7 Newsbreak.
Hello, I'm Bobby McSwan.
And I'm Shane Eisenhuth. The Graduate Employees Organization strike beginning next week will result in many classes being canceled.
Marissa Sulek sat down with one teaching assistant who explained what the strike means to her.
No, I only want my favorite side.
The Graduate Employees Organization held a picket practice last Thursday in preparation of the strike beginning on February 26th. Rezvan Shahoy is a picket captain from Iran who is dependent on the tuition waiver the university plans on discontinuing.
There's no way I could have come to grad school without a tuition waiver. And almost anyone I know, among my friends, they would not have been able to afford grad school without a tuition waiver.
Rezvan has been at the university for 8 years and teaches statistical mechanics. However, she has already informed and educated her students on the strike efforts. They support her decision and understand class will not be in session for the duration of the strike. Every hour, the main quad contains heavy foot traffic as students make their way to classes. Starting next week, however, those students will be replaced with GEO members picketing outside these academic buildings.
I'm a graduating senior. I'm going to grad school to study physics, and I don't want this to happen to me or anybody else, so I'm in full support of the grad students.
Rezvan students understand the strike efforts will help them in the future if they decide to go to graduate school. She also puts a lot of trust and solidarity in her class, who has started a petition themselves to support the GEO members.
Strike is the last thing we want. We are here to do our research, to teach, and to learn. And the university administration has pushed us against the wall, and there are no options left for us.
For now, the GEO members can only hope an agreement will be reached. From Urbana, Marissa Sulek, UI7 Newsbreak.
Democratic candidates for Illinois Attorney General met for a forum at the Independent Media Center in Urbana this week. Candidates spoke to residents on a range of issues.
Important the Attorney General, gun manufacturers, but join with other Attorney Generals to bring peace to our streets.
We got sued by the NRA. We went to the U.S. Supreme Court, and we prevailed.
I'm worried about actually going forward and defending us all.
After, residents got a chance to speak with candidates one-on-one. The primary for State Attorney General is March 20th.
University students and faculty members spoke out against sexual assault, domestic violence, and more at SASA Speaks this past Tuesday. Students Against Sexual Assault hosted the second annual SASA Speaks event at the Illini Union Courtyard. The open mic night invited anyone to voice their stories through monologue, poetry, and music. Various topics, including sexual harassment, domestic violence, unhealthy relationships, trauma, mental illness, and sexual assault. Participants also shared their frustration with different institutional problems in both society and at the university.
Perpetrators are regarded in this way, whereas plagiarism is deemed worse than committing a sexual crime, basically, in the eyes of the University of Illinois, which is really disturbing.
Musicians also expressed their sentiments through song. Self-named local feminist cover band Love Handles performed at the end with a special tribute to Emily Blue, who donated over $2,000 to the Rape Advocacy Counseling and Education Services Center at the university.
And now for some exciting news happening in Illini athletics. Illini women's tennis is off to the best start since 1982, ranking in at number 5 in the nation. The Illini recently had 2 big wins against Big Ten opponents, Iowa and number 32, Washington. The Illini grabbed a doubles win for the 4th straight match on Sunday with freshmen Ashba Kawhi and Mia Rabinowitz. After the next few matches and a tie, the Illini Huskies came down to a third set tiebreaker between Jacqueline Schweitz and Washington's number 36 ranked Vanessa Wong. Schweitz took the tiebreaker to secure the team victory over a top-ranked opponent.
With the men's basketball team going through a rough season, the Illini scored a much-needed victory over Nebraska 72-66 this Sunday. LaRon Black carried the team to victory during their second-to-last home game.
Black, a redshirt junior, showed a lot of leadership on the court Sunday afternoon.
If I feel like I got an open one, I take it, and if I make one, I feel like I could make a couple more, so just kept shooting.
He made an impressive showing by scoring 28 points, a new career high. This was Black's sixth career game of scoring more than 20 points, and 5 out of the 6 have occurred this season. Black's performance has been dominant throughout the entire season, but he couldn't do it without his team. Trent Frazier and Kipper Nichols were instrumental in the win on Sunday. Frazier and Nichols also came to win, scoring 12 points apiece. To help secure the win, Frazier made 2 free throws in the final minute.
I was able to knock down some threes tonight, so that's really what got me going. My teammates was finding me in all the right spots. I had a lot of open shots. They was looking for me, and they was getting me the ball.
Overall, Coach Brad Underwood had nothing but positive things to say about the team's strong performance.
Huge night from LaRon. That was our game plan. Going into this was to really try to exploit and get him the ball, get him a lot of touches.
The team looks to keep the pressure up as they return home tonight for their final home game of the season. For Urbana, Shane Eisenhuth, UI7 Newsbreak.
Today for Champaign weather, we will be experiencing morning showers with times of both sun and clouds. On Friday, there will be occasional rain with a high of 51 degrees. Thunderstorms for Saturday are in the radar, but temperatures are supposed to heat up to the 50s early next week, and we are even supposed to see some sun. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Well, Illini, that's it for the weather. We'll have more after this break.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know,
sleep through that.
I heard. It wasn't you.
Yeah.
It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
Families come in all sizes and shapes. Sometimes your friends are your family by choice, or sometimes you're just stuck with Uncle Charles. But what we know is that you want to protect the people that are close to you, but the flu can unravel everything. Your flu vaccine protects you and your family. No matter what draws your family together, protect yourself, protect your family. Everyone needs a flu vaccine.
Champaign-Urbana is our campus,
full of different interests, talents, and ideas.
And that's why Good Morning Illini was created, to share those stories and things you care most about.
Learning more about this place we call home, and now we want to hear from you, Illini.
Share your ideas with us on Facebook.
And follow our stories on Instagram.
And of course, subscribe to our YouTube page where you can always see GMI live streaming Fridays at 9 a.m. Good morning, Illini.
A teenager in western Wisconsin has built a device that could save lives if a shooter ever targets his school.
In a room with all the makings of a medals class, Justin Brevard loses himself in this sanctuary of steel.
I'm a very hands-on person. I like to put my ideas down.
then cut them, shape them, and fuse them into a creation all his own.
Man, I can't even remember how much stuff I've made in here.
Funny, considering his latest project is unforgettable.
When you're welding, a lot of times for teaching welding, you can just put two pieces of metal together. But what we were hoping for is to look at ability to be able to solve a problem.
Justin found it during active shooter training at Somerset High School.
The main problem was all these kids in a building who have nothing but a door to keep them safe.
In his homeroom class, Justin and his classmates used this heavy table to barricade the door, which has a lock, but if an intruder somehow disabled it, the door was easily pushed open, even with the table.
That's where I thought, you know what, this is something that I need to go after, and this is something that was kind of made for me to do.
Justin put on his thinking cap.
It started out with a few drawings.
And got to work.
Justin has a motor that just doesn't stop.
It was kind of hard at first, but once I kind of got onto one part, then it was like, okay, that makes sense.
It starts with 2 steel plates cut to a specific shape. Handles are welded to them. Then a rod and tube are welded on to connect the ends. Add a locking knob and voila, you have a device named Just In Case.
This is the thing that can save thousands of lives if it's used properly.
Jeff Wagner, WCCO 4 News.
The Champaign County Camera Club recently hosted its 17th annual Best in Show photography competition, which showcased amateur talent in the Champaign area. Judges critique the photos, and winners are chosen from several categories, such as nature, portraits, and landscape. Contestants are encouraged to share their creativity, and no entry is turned away. Children are even allowed to participate. In the end, viewers have a chance to take home some of the amazing photographs, and the winners take home a check.
The Illini Union Courtyard hosts the same event every Wednesday for the Champaign-Urbana community. The number of people in the crowd may vary each week, but in this week's See You Neighbor, Demi Ramirez found someone who will always be there, ready to perform.
Wednesdays may just be another day, but for people at the Union, it is definitely for putting on a show, or just to enjoy watching from the audience. Dave does quite the opposite of being on stage throughout the day, though.
I'm doing a lot of environmental research for different groups, the Sierra Club and for Prairie Rivers, and for the Watch group that protects the Muhammad Aquifer. And I'm always finding new things and sending it on to people for things they might want to be concerned about.
The Champaign-Urbana community might only know him by his first name, but he does extensive research in environmental issues. You'll never guess where you'll find him every Wednesday night.
His name's Dave, and I only know him by Dave. And he is the most passionate karaoke singer, participant that you will ever meet in your life.
Dave is there every Wednesday singing his heart out, and that he's been doing it for a long time.
I actually sang the first karaoke song in Champaign County. This was back in the day when karaoke was on Laserdisc, and they had MTV-like videos, and the words appeared as subtitles at the bottom.
Dave is always the first to perform, even if karaoke has evolved since he first started. He still invites people to see him sing.
A lot of people don't really take it seriously, and I'll say, oh, come out and see me sometime. Oh, no thanks.
Dave says his favorite part of karaoke is the interaction he has with the audience.
I think it's like sometimes you can get the crowd involved.
He is definitely a crowd favorite that you wouldn't want to miss Wednesday nights. In Urbana, I'm Demi Ramirez, UI7 News.
It looks like Fergie might need to take some lessons from our pal Dave.
Yeah, I can definitely agree on that. Do you do any karaoke?
No, I'm mostly just a news anchor.
Well, for more of our stories, please follow us on Facebook and like us on Twitter.
Or see more of our stories on our YouTube page.
That's all we have for this edition of UI7 Newsbreak.
Thanks for watching. Have a Fergalicious day.